Before we start, I would like you to hit that red subscribe button so that you never miss out on any of our videos. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Film Sci. Number 8. Morgan Jones. Morgan became unhinged after losing his son at the hands of his infected wife, resorting to killing anyone he came across. He was briefly against Rick when the latter approached his area and nearly eliminated him until Morgan was incapacitated. Morgan could have easily turned down Rick's attempts to realign with him and continued to try to take his life. Moreover, Morgan could have easily become a villain when he became unhinged once more during the 8th season. His tendency to reach murderous lengths made him a threat even to his own friends, but Morgan managed to keep it at bay and fled to avoid becoming a full-on villain. Number 7. Gabriel Stokes. Gabriel admitted he'd locked people outside his church to die at the hands of the infected while saving himself. While this was an act of cowardice, he took on villainous tendencies at Alexandria, where he tried to convince Diana Monroe that the heroes were brutal savages. Gabriel came close to becoming a villain when he had an altercation with Sasha, almost tipping her fragile state over the edge by verbally antagonizing her. The show decided to take a different direction by eventually evolving Gabriel's characterization after he showed remorse for his actions. But Gabriel could very well have served as a villain who corrupted Alexandria's citizens against the main heroes. Number 6. Sasha Williams. Sasha's emotional fragility became worse after losing her lover Bob and brother Tyrese, and also being unable to accustom herself to Alexandria. She nearly lost her restraint after Gabriel antagonized her by calling her a killer, which was a trait she showed when she brutally murdered the antagonistic Terminus faction. Sasha nearly gave in to her darker mindset when she preferred to lie among the infected rather than humans, and almost taking Gabriel's life would have been the tipping point. She eventually channeled this anger towards sacrificing herself for her friends, although it would have been believable if the show wanted her to turn into a villain. Number 5. Carl Grimes. A lot of effort went toward making Carl out to be a good person in later seasons, to move past in the seeds planted for a potential turn into a villain in earlier seasons. Carl was heavily influenced by Shane to take on kill or be killed attitude, which led him to killing a defenseless boy. Carl also wanted to kill the governor's people rather than seek peaceful resolutions, which made him arguably just as bad as the villains. The show appeared to be carrying out an arc for Rick to deal with his dangerous side of his son until Carl's point of view was changed and he started to feel remorse. Number 4. Eugene Porter. Eugene is one of the Walking Dead characters with the most growth, having been an absolute coward who's now become a brave person. His cowardly traits briefly caused him to align with Negan and the Saviors, helping them fortify the sanctuary and come close to sabotaging his own friends. Eugene almost fully aligned with the Saviors until he was made to see how the heroes had saved his life and how much he owed them. He ultimately betrayed the Saviors from within to lead to their loss, although Eugene could have ensured the opposite result had he embraced his villainous traits. Number 3. Daryl Dixon. Daryl is the protagonist who has the best chance of surviving The Walking Dead because he's supposed to headline his own spin-off. That didn't seem to be on the cards in the first season, where Daryl looked to be set up as the next antagonist who wanted revenge for Murley's disappearance. Daryl was shown to be angry and bitter at the group for locking Murley up, believing he'd been eaten by the infected. Had Daryl given in to his feelings of vengeance, he could have had the role of Shane ultimately played at the farm to be the main antagonist of the second season. Instead, he accepted what happened to Murley and eventually became the lead character. Number 2. Carol Pelletier. Following Carol would make for an interesting Walking Dead spin-off, although she has also shown villainous mannerisms many times. Carol was responsible for killing innocent ill people at the prison, using unwitting characters as bait and becoming extremely trigger-happy. The show has established herself as a scary character who has no qualms about killing protagonists if she feels they're standing in her way. Carol could easily have become a villain if The Walking Dead chose to portray her actions as villainous rather than in a morally gray area. Number 1. Rick Grimes. Fans will get to check out the original protagonist again when he returns for the Rick and Michonne spin-off TV series. Rick may have been the hero, but there was a little to separate him from the villains at numerous points. Chief among them was Rick almost engaged in a hostile takeover of Alexandria and brutally murdered saviors he promised not to kill. As pointed out by Negan, Rick was the aggressor from his side of the story as he slaughtered the saviors for the hilltop when Negan's people hadn't done anything to them. Of course, Rick's attempts to reunite the communities and willingness to accept responsibility for his actions make him a hero, but there are quite a few moments where the protagonist could have become the antagonist. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any of our videos in the future. Also, watch the 2 videos that are on your screen because I'm sure you love them. With that, I'll see you in the next video.